start. And we're back.
Welcome back, guys. This is Black Book. We call this episode I Can't Breathe. You obviously know what's going on social climate of the world right now. As you know,
I'm Zoe.
And today is probably going to be uncomfortable and unnerving, but now is the best time out of any time to have this conversation and to really put it out there and use our voice in whatever form, fashion, and platform that we can. So we're going to jump right into it as far as what kind of ignited the fire in the both of us, and then what impacts and what we want to try to do to be proactive instead of reactive.
And for me, what ignited the fire was actually watching the video. I think that's the first video I've ever watched. Of course, I was aware it was going on. I didn't need to watch every video to know and understand that my people were hurting and dying. But for the first time ever, I actually sat through and watched a whole video. And I think that for me, really, it dawned on me that something else had to be done. I can't just feel for my people and hurt for my people and then do nothing about it.
So I didn't watch the video. I chose not to. I didn't share any of my social media. But for me, it's always been, I work in an arena to where racism is just present at every avenue, everything, every meeting. So really just seeing how it's a trickle-down effect from the riots to protesting to all of it. It is a trickle-down effect, and now it's just a sense of what's next. How do we move from here? How do we move better? How do we mobilize? How do we come together? How do we really make an impact and talk that talk as well as walk that walk? So I know we're going to ask each other, so what impacts or what do you want to do or start doing before to kind of get ahead of the curve, like I said, be proactive instead of reactive? I was asking you, man.
Oh, I wanted you to go first.
Okay.
Yeah. So what's next? What are you gonna do to keep the light going?
Oh, that's good. I want to be more involved in my own community, as well as other communities that allow me and to volunteer and be a part of whatever organization I feel like is genuine and true to their cause and the mission, the overall mission, as well as really pushing that narrative in the planning space, as uncomfortable as it is, to really dial into racism and all of that exists primarily because of the way that we divided the built environment. So really pushing that narrative for representation, heavy, and yeah, trying to be a light as best as I can.
So, it was racking my brain for a long time. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What can you do? What can I do? Because it's such a hopeless feeling. Like, what do we do? It's been happening forever. What do we do? So I played to my strengths. I said, oh, well, maybe I could write a children's book to make sure future generations, your kids, don't kill our kids. Because, I mean, it's uncomfortable to think about, but that is a very, very, very grand possibility. So to me, obviously we need to deal with what's going on now, but a lot of that's already set. Those adults that are racist, that's set. That's not going anywhere. There's nothing going to happen with that. But if we train the little ones and the next generation to come that this is not okay, it is okay to see color, you have privilege that your best friend may not have, and so on and so forth. I think that's a really important conversation. I sure hope my white friends are talking to their children about that, because it is real. Because our children have to hear the other half of it, the other side of it, constantly every day. My little brothers know how to talk to cops, and I feel like white people need to have conversations with their children as well. And so I'm a teacher, and it's a constant battle within myself. Right now I am in a minority driven school that there's a lot of minorities in, but it's, do I go to a more predominantly black and even heavier minority clientele school, or do you stay and educate people that may not understand? And I also want to be in a school where the teachers reflect the clientele. So if it's a majority black school, I feel like there needs to be the majority of teachers need to be black. A good number of the teachers need to be black. So it's a constant, or do you stay and educate? Do you go and do you pour into people that look like you and surround yourself with people that look like you, and you guys are all on the same page? When this stuff like this happens, it's not, ooh, why are you talking to the kids about that? But yes, this is what needs to be talked to, what needs to be talked about. So it's but I do want to maybe eventually move into a school that is surrounded by more people that look like me. And I want to do a better job at pouring my money into black-owned businesses. I just moved. I got a new house, and I've been looking for businesses, black-owned, that do little things around my house, and it's really, really hard to find. And I'm like, man, there needs to be an app for this or something. How do I find these? And I've been Googling and all the things that it's hard to find. So I was proactive, and I made an Instagram that is going to be able to showcase and shout out black-owned businesses in the DFW. It's black-owned_DFW. So go DM me, send me all the things, and there's the highlights where you can find whatever you're looking for and press on that highlight, and then you'll get a reel of different businesses. So hopefully that goes on. Things I'm looking for right now, if you guys know anything, I'm looking for some black-owned landscaping, some electricians, remodeling. I need some bathrooms remodeled, and exterminators. So if you know any of that, down below, please, that'd be great. Excellent.
And on the same note of pouring back in our communities, if you haven't already, I started a space, Black Spaces, BLCKSPCES, that is 100% dedicated to black and brown communities. Right now, especially black communities. So I, without a doubt, with like no regret, I'm pouring all my time, effort, money. My whole career is dedicated to redesigning and recreating black communities so they can thrive on their own. So we say all that to say it's been tough. It's been a tough week. It's gonna be an uphill battle for sure. But keep sending love, keep sending light to people that look like you, and to our white friends, mine and Zoe's.
Yes.
Reciprocate that love. Show that it affected you some way, somehow, because we need that. I mean, that's what it ultimately comes down to. You have something to say?
I was gonna say, I do want to shout out to all the people, everybody, black, white, Mexican, Asian, everyone, Hispanic, everyone that has been coming out in waves and saying things and stepping up and speaking out. I was talking to my sister last night, and this feels different. This time feels different. I feel like something has definitely shifted, and I think it was the back to back, the AHMAUD, the BREONNA, and then you had Amy Cooper, that was her name, right? And then now George Floyd's back, and people finally kind of got shook, and they're like, oh, there is a problem. Not people of color, but white people have said, oh, there is a problem. Something is going on. Something does need to change, and that's been extremely helpful. Thank you guys for that.
So let's keep changing the narrative in a positive way. Like I said, let's be proactive and get ahead of it instead of reactive. If there are any organizations, volunteer, anything like that, especially dealing with the black community, drop them below, or DM us personally. All our social stuff will be tagged, but let us know. I mean, so we can get active, get involved.
That's what I want.
Get more involved, and just keep shining black excellence over everything, and we gonna make a way. We always do. You know what I'm saying? So, anything else you want to say?
No, that's it.
All right, we'll see y'all next time.